Welcome back to tonight's broadcast, A Place for Stories. Tonight, we continue with Chapter 7 of What Would I Do Without You? Summer vacation has finally arrived, and for Isaac, it should be a time to relax and enjoy the break from school. Wanting to spend time with his best friend, he reaches out to Aaron, and the two make plans to spend the day together. But as hours pass, Isaac begins to notice something isn't right. Aaron seems distracted and distant, as if he is carrying a burden he doesn't want anyone else to see. The more Isaac pays attention, the more he realizes that Aaron is hiding something. What that secret is, and whether Aaron is ready to share it, is something Isaac is about to discover. This is What Would I Do Without You? Chapter 7, Part 1. Summer vacation was finally here, and all I could think about was doing absolutely nothing. The next day, I walked outside to see what the weather was like, and of course, it was nice and warm. And by the way the sun looked, I could tell that it was going to be a perfect day for swimming. I literally ran back inside to call Aaron and see what he was up to. "Mijo, have you picked up your room?" My mother hollered out to me as she saw me run past her. "No, Mom, not yet," I replied loudly as I reached for the phone. "Son, make sure it gets done before you decide to do anything else," she commanded. Too late, I thought to myself. I walked into my room, and it looked like a war had broken out between the furniture and clothes. "And dust your furniture while you are at it. And before I forget, your father wants you to cut the grass today." "Wow, why don't you just tell me that you're going to make my day a living hell while you're at it?" Of course, I did not say that to her. It was well into the afternoon when I finally finished with my room and the lawn. "Hey Mom, is it okay if I go over to Aaron's house after my shower?" "Sure, mijo, go ahead." At her response, I zoomed towards the bathroom, taking my shirt off at the same time. I was in full summer mode, so I took my radio with me into the bathroom and tuned into my favorite station, and I danced and sang the entire time I showered. After I was done with my private concert, I dried off and wrapped the towel around my waist. I walked into my room singing, and my mouth dropped when I saw Aaron sitting on my bed. "Sing some more," he said laughingly with the sweetest smirk as his eyes flicked over my chest. I fumbled for words and ended up laughing at myself. "How long have you been sitting here?" I guess I would have to say a little into your second song, Cher," he mocked good-naturedly. "Shut up," I laughed at his quip. "You're just jealous that your voice doesn't sound as good as mine in the shower," I said to him with my own cute smirk and sideways glance as I turned to give him my back. "Sure, that's it. You hit the nail right on the head." I could feel his eyes on my naked back as I deliberately hid my chest from view. "Anyways, you want to do something?" he asked after a few seconds of awkwardness. "Sure, I was going to call you when I got out of the shower, but you beat me to it." "So what should we do?" I said as I nervously walked over to my dresser to get some underwear and shorts. I was trying to act nonchalant about everything that had happened in my room thus far, so I decided to pull up my underwear with my towel still wrapped around me. "I don't know," Aaron said as he reached for the cordless on my nightstand. "Why don't we call the rest of the gang and see what they are up to?" I could tell Aaron was smiling when he said this. "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea." Suddenly and clumsily, I lost hold of my towel, and it came loose and fell off. Instantly, my eyes shot to my mirror where I saw Aaron's reflection looking at my butt. His eyes lingered before he looked directly into my reflected eyes in the mirror. In the next moment, he quickly looked down at the cordless phone and started to dial a number. I felt a dangerous thrill, and for this reason, I decided to pretend like nothing happened. I got dressed and gave myself a spritz of cologne while he called our little group of friends. When I was done, I sat on my bed and watched his movements as he spoke with different people. I was mesmerized by the way his bicep and forearm flexed, and by the rise and fall of his chest. I watched his jaw and neck as he spoke. Then I caught myself. As I was recovering from my reverie, I heard Aaron say, "Well, Isaac, that's it. Everyone has something else to do. I guess it will be just you and me for today. He said it with a deep sigh as his eyes locked on mine. That sounds like a good idea to me. What if we go to your house and have a swim or something? He bit his bottom lip and his eyes grew. Well, he voiced with uncertainty. The look on Aaron's face said it all. I realized that his dad was probably home and he didn't want to mention it. It's okay, I told him. Don't worry about it. We can find something else to do. After a few moments of silence, we decided to hang out at the mall. Aaron was quiet the whole ride there. As we walked around, I tried to make conversation with him, but he wouldn't say much. We went in and out of stores, checking things out. I would hold things up and ask him what he thought, but sometimes all I would get was just a shrug. Obviously, something was wrong. I just couldn't figure it out. We had walked up and down the mall twice, and he seemed so bored. You want to get going? I asked him. Yeah, I guess so. Not much more we can look at. As we headed to the car, all I could think was, what happened today? I couldn't wait to see him, and it seems like he isn't happy to be hanging out together. In the car, I couldn't hold it in anymore. What's wrong, Aaron? It's like you're not even here. Did you not want to hang out? I said, looking at him. Of course I did, Isaac. I always have a great time when I'm with you, he explained without looking at me. So what's wrong then? I insisted. I guess I just have a lot on my mind, he paused, looked at me, then looked away. Then he turned his body as much as he could in the seat and said, starting with what has been happening between the both of us. I don't even know what to say. I have all these thoughts going through my head, and sometimes I feel like I am going in circles. I listened while I drove, and soon we were around the corner from my house. I was somewhere between euphoric and dumbfoundedness. Aaron, what is happening between the two of us? I asked him as I pulled into the driveway. He turned to me, looked straight into my eyes, and was silent for a good while. Neither one of us said a word. I couldn't think of what to say. Deep inside, I knew exactly what he meant, but on the surface, I was a mess. There were so many things that I wanted to say and do, but I didn't know how to navigate something so different and taboo. I was about to try to explain my own feelings when he shook his head and looked away and said, Nothing. I just have a lot on my mind. I'll call you later, okay? He quickly got out of my car and into his. I sat there for a while, still not understanding. What does he think is going on between the two of us? Up to that point, I thought our friendship was great. We definitely had a very strong and connected relationship. I need to get inside. It's getting hot in here, I thought to myself. Inside the house, I ran into Mom and Dad, who were sitting on the couch watching TV. How was the mall, son? My dad asked. It was okay, I replied, placing my keys on the kitchen table. I'm gonna jump into the shower. It's hot out there, and I'm all sweaty. As I walked away, I heard my mother ask, Is everything okay, mijo? Yes, I'm just tired. The heat took away all my energy. I turned and headed to the bathroom. After my shower, I sat in my room, spinning in my desk chair, staring at the ceiling. I couldn't clear my mind. The more I spun, the more frustrated I felt. I need to spend some time with my grandfather, I thought to myself. With that, I got up and walked towards his room. Hi, abuelo, I greeted softly from his doorway. Mijo, come in. It's been a while since we have talked. Yeah, I know, abuelo. I've been busy, I guess. I'm sorry. I will make more time for us. I felt terrible because school and Aaron had taken up a lot of my time. It's okay, mijo. I know you are busy. It's summer, a time to be out with your friends and enjoying yourself. No school, no worries. His love always covered all my mess-ups. Yeah, I guess you're right, I groaned as I sat on his bed. Ah, there is that look on your face again, mijito. What happened? Talk to me. He clicked his television off. We sat in his bedroom for what must have been hours. I recounted a lot of what had happened since I started high school, from meeting Aaron, to my friends, to how Chris and his goons bullied us. I even spoke about Aaron's father and what he had done. My grandfather never said a word. He simply sat and listened to my stories. With nothing more to say, I looked down at the floor and tears started falling from my eyes. I felt like I wanted to tell him what was going on in my mind when it came to Aaron, but I didn't have to say it. He must be someone special to you, mijo. What? Who, abuelo? I looked up at him, pretending I did not know who he was talking about. In reality, I felt a rush of relief that my grandfather saw me. That boy, Aaron, he must mean a lot to you. I can see it in your eyes, and I hear it in your voice when you talk about him. And that is okay. You made a special friend. You have found a unique person and have created a special kind of bond. The kindness and knowing in his eye was overwhelming, and my tears started to stream down my face. Despite the comfort I felt at his acceptance, I was shocked. My mouth nearly dropped open. Was he really saying that to me? What did he mean by a special kind of bond? Can he tell what Aaron means to me? Did he figure it out that I'm gay? As if he could read my thoughts, he continued, "Stop thinking about it. Just let it be and let things happen the way they are meant to happen. Remember what I have always told you. Never forget who is in control, and always pray and ask for guidance. He," abuelo pointed to the ceiling, "is always with you." I let out the breath I was holding and lunged to hug him. "I love you so much, abuelo. Thank you for always listening." I whispered into his ear and I hugged his neck. In a few words, abuelo helped me accept what I had been suppressing for a while. Aaron was someone very special to me. In that moment, I finally understood what my heart felt when I was with Aaron. An invisible weight had been lifted and my body relaxed. That night I slept so well. All I remember was closing my eyes and falling out. Sadly, I saw very little of Aaron that summer. Mary had invited the group to her house for get-togethers a few times, but Aaron would never show up. Every time I called him, he cut our conversations short. I felt mentally exhausted thinking about him day after day and speculating about what had happened. I could no longer deal with it, so I resolved to let him have his space. This, in turn, gave me time to spend with abuelo. At that point in my life, I had not yet grasped what it meant to lose someone I loved. That summer, abuelo asked me every now and again about Aaron, and all I could say was, "I don't know. He isn't talking to me much. Who knows?" And he would say, "I am sure things will get fixed soon, mijo." I was blessed to have someone who understood me when I didn't yet have the capacity to do so myself. Abuelo was instrumental in building my inner strength to stand firm in my beliefs and know that in the end, everything would be okay. James called me one Saturday morning towards the end of July. "Hey, James, what's up?" "Hey, come with me to the mall later today. I want to do some shopping," he jokingly commanded. Okay. What time? Is everyone else going?" I asked. "Nah, I don't think so. Just me and you. And I was thinking just after lunch. Is that cool?" he confirmed. "Yeah, sure. That sounds good to me," I consented. "All right. See you later." I hung up wondering, why doesn't he want to invite the others? Before I left to meet James, Mom and Dad went out for errands, and I fed my grandfather BLT sandwiches. I can still see him blessing the food we were about to eat. He was a loving man with his faith evident in the way he lived. After we ate, I cleaned up and went to get ready to meet James. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was up. I mean, we were friends, but we weren't the type of friends who hung out alone. I worried in my heart that I was about to be called out about something I couldn't yet answer. The mall was pretty empty as I headed to the food court. I spotted James fairly quickly, mostly because he was waving his arms over his head to get my attention. "You do realize there are only like 10 other people in this section," I said, poking fun at his actions. "Hey, I just wanted to make sure you would see me," he pointed out the obvious in a joking manner. "Oh, I saw you, and so did everyone else," I laughed. "You know what? Let's just go shopping, he said, trying to play off his embarrassment. Okay, James, lead the way, I said with a flourish of my arms. After a couple of yards, I asked, So, what are you looking for? Nothing, really. Just wanting to get out of the house. After a short pause, he added, And I wanted to talk to you about something. We could have done this over the phone instead of coming all the way over here, I responded. What would James want to talk to me about? I knew something was up, I thought to myself. So, what's up with Aaron? James blurted out as we walked into Express. What do you mean? What are you talking about? I asked, trying to figure out what he was getting at and why he felt I would have an answer. Why is Aaron acting so weird? He hasn't really hung out with us much since summer started. Do you know anything about that? I thought you two were close, he said, with his hands in his pocket as we walked around the racks. No, not really. I've noticed he has been distant, but I don't know why. He turned to me and gave me a doubtful look, but didn't say anything. I cringed inside, knowing the jig was up. We left Express and wandered over into Hot Topic, where he went straight to the t-shirt rack. I pretended to look at the t-shirts, but I was actually distracted rationalizing what James had just said. I reasoned in my mind. Aaron and I are close, but I feel like there is so much distance between us, and I don't know what to do or what to say to remedy this. And what is there to remedy if I don't even know what he is thinking? And how can I know what he is thinking if he doesn't tell me? Earth to Isaac, James ribbed. I looked up from the rack and said, Huh? What are you thinking about? His knowing gaze penetrated my mind. I wanted to describe what I was feeling. I wanted to explain that Aaron and I had become good friends, maybe more than friends, according to what Aaron had implied in my car that last time I saw him. Thank you for listening to Chapter 7, Part 1 of What Would I Do Without You? In Part 2, Isaac responds to James' question, and the mystery surrounding Aaron begins to unfold. If you're enjoying the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow tonight's broadcast so you don't miss the next chapter. Until next time.